Yeah, okay, every YouTube reaction. Oh my God, it sounds so good. It's amazing. 10 out of 10, must buy. Oh my gosh. What is up, guys? Today we are taking this and turning it into this. Video about the car in a long time, and RamAir, which is one of the sponsors of BimmerInvasion and sponsor of the F8X G8X haul, is sending me or sent me an intake system, and what we're going to do is we're going to install it. So first things first is we're going to have to remove the strut brace. We're going to have to remove the two covers, and then once we get this out of the way, we can start pulling out this part of the intake along with this side of the intake. Now, this shouldn't be very hard, and this is something that probably everyone's already done, but I have a big thing about intakes. The OEM intakes are probably just as efficient, if not better, than any aftermarket intake out there. So there's no reason to replace them unless you want whooshing noises. And the biggest thing that I have about doing mods is I don't want to spend money just for noise. I want some sort of benefit. So if I'm spending upwards of $1,000 to $2,000, I want to make sure that whatever I pay for has more value than just noise. Look who joined us. Tyler is here. He's here to assist. Yep. I already started the process, but let's talk about how small this box is. For an intake system, it's quite small. That was Kyler's first question.
Yeah, you're wondering like what's in that box. Is it 2 intakes or 1?
Right, it might just be filters. No, but I already opened it. There is stuff in here. So there is stuff in here. I've gone through the instructions, and I gotta say, most companies don't give paper pamphlet instructions anymore, and I appreciate ProRam for doing so, because this was very, very detailed when I went through it earlier. So we'll probably use this to, really go into depth on how they want us to install it. But yeah, let's get started. All right, guys, so we ran into some issues because I was missing a bolt. I figured I'd take care of it while I'm already in here, and that took a majority of my time so far. However, the intake install is going to be super simple. So first things first is we will need to install the heat shields onto the bottom portion of your OEM intake. And once we get these installed, we're going to put this back in, and then we'll start running the pipes. So this is really simple. You just remove the original box off with the corresponding Torx bits, and then we're going to use those same Torx to put this back in. So like I said, these Torx are just going to go back in to each little hole. We're going to do this real quick and then put this back in and show you what it's going to look like. So after we tighten all the Torx, oh, missed one. See, that's why we double check. So we're going to tighten this. And you'll notice that not every single section has these tabs, so you're going to just have like open spots that you don't technically need to screw in. I just do it because it's force of habit, so I'm going to put these in, and then now we can put this down here, and I'm going to make sure it slips in like so. Like that. So one thing we forgot to do beforehand, which is what it says in the instructions, is to line this rubber piece that they give you before putting it on the intake box. But honestly, I don't really think it matters, frankly. And realistically, once you line it all, you should be good regardless. So there's going to be some curves where I think it's not going to fit very well, and then I think we should make some slits. It doesn't really say to do so. It just says cut to length. So they just send you like a universal size. They send you 2 of them for each side, and then you just sort of route it in like I'm doing right now. It's just going to fit. All right, so we're gonna have to take the MAF sensor out, put it on their little intake section, this metal piece. So what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that the MAF sensor is going the same way. So the lip will be on the left-hand side, while the open end will be on the right-hand side, and then we're just gonna match directly like so. So we're gonna take this right off and put it here. So you don't reuse the OEM bolts. You're going to come with a screw and washer, and they are a M4 by 16, and then the washers are little lock washers. And then you'll notice that the actual sensor itself doesn't really fit in there because of the gasket, and then these washers and bolts will actually push it down to make it flush. So now it should sit like this inside, look very clean. Okay, so there's a number of things. When we're installing the silicone piece, right? Luckily it's silicone, it's high temp, you shouldn't have to worry about it touching the charge pipe. You can adjust it if you want, but realistically it shouldn't be a big deal. Because it's silicone, we left the inlet pipe in there, and this fits right over without issues. Now, I would say it's probably easiest to just put it on there first, then you could put the piece to tighten it, this little metal piece, and then just slide it over. Now when you slide it over, you can push it all the way down, which shouldn't be that hard. Yep, there we go. Now it's going all the way to the bottom, which again, isn't a big deal. And then we're gonna turn it a specific way to tighten it, which will be we'll have the screw facing down. So if I were you, I would probably not have this intake piece in yet. Even though it says it should be in, I would probably just do this silicone piece first. Let's remove this box, tighten this piece right here, put this back in, and then we could put the rest of the intake on. Okay, so I made an adjustment. The bolt's actually gonna have to face this way towards the front. So when you tighten it from this end, it will tighten. Now, to remove this later down the road, you will have to remove this intake box, but I think it's well worth it because it's a little easier to do it this way than the other way from what I'm noticing.
Little test fit.
Yeah, fits good. So this is all a test fit. That's why there's no clamp here yet. And then that's why the plastic's here, because I want to make sure I'm not dirtying up the cone. Now, something you got to remember is this rubber is just held on by friction. So while you're putting this metal intake piece on where the MAF airflow sensor is, you'll want to hold on to the rubber piece so it doesn't like come loose. And then once it falls off, the metal on metal will scratch itself. So just be careful here is all I got to say. So I was just holding on to it while I was putting everything in. So it's funny that I say that they gave good instructions and I didn't even look at them. So with these torques right here, I'm so used to using like my power drills that I have like the torques for it. Realistically, you're supposed to replace them with these shorter ones. But these are Phillips. And me personally, I would rather have the torques, just the OEM ones, since they already fit and whatnot. So these are here. These are for that. And we just didn't use it, in case anybody's wondering. Push down into the grommet. This always takes some time to line up and whatnot. Once you get it lined up, it's all good. All right, so with the OEM intake pipe, it has stuff to hold this coolant hose for the top mount intercooler. So with the new one, there's not as many, but there is this little spot here, and they give you this clip where you can just push it in, just locks in, and then this will fit over it. Well, it might be easier just to put the hose through on, to be honest, like so, and then push down on the intake pipe. That's it. Now we connected the other, I can't remember what this is called, but it's for intake air right here to feedback. So you will put this here, and then we're gonna put the rest back on, which is the MAF airflow sensor like before, and then the cone. So the last part is this little bracket here. Now, we're gonna have to untighten this anyways to put the strut bar piece back in, but I have it there so we know where we have to tighten it and where to lift. So we're gonna lift this part up and start to tighten. Careful, you don't want. And you can make this, I have all loose, so you can make sure to rotate however you need to, and for you to tighten it accordingly. I think that looks pretty good. And now we can tighten everything else up since we know that's where it's gonna be. All right, so we're starting to we just got done installing the intakes itself. We're gonna start putting everything back together, such as the strut bar, actually just the strut bar. So we'll put the strut bar back on, we'll do a audio test of the intakes, and then we'll go for a drive. All right, so first start. We got the mic there, so you guys should be able to hear it. Hopefully I don't get my car super dirty on the inside. So I'm gonna let it warm up for a second and then do a few revs. Hopefully there's no leaks, but there shouldn't be. We double checked. Hey, yo, that sounds pretty good. Got some intake noises. Hey, hey. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know how it sounds from outside, but from inside you could hear it, surprisingly. So if I can hear from inside, you definitely hear it out here on your guys' side. So we'll go for a drive, and yeah, we'll try to get some video of how it sounds. Yeah, and we're gonna go for a drive. So first drive, I'm gonna do exhaust closed, probably so we can hear the intakes. You can definitely hear more intake noise inside, but you don't really hear the whooshing inside. So there's that. I do hear it now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, every YouTube reaction. Oh my god, it sounds so good. It's amazing. 10 out of 10, must buy. Oh my gosh. No, but seriously, it does sound really good. Definitely like worth the money, I would say. I think they go for like only 600 bucks. So you can't really complain about the price, I would say. So let's see. Yeah, right around like 3,000 RPM. You hear it spool up. Actually, I don't know if you could hear what Kyler said, but
Sounds really good.
yeah, so it's pretty good. Now I do need to make sure that we don't have any leaks because I did have a hard time tightening some of this stuff. So hopefully we're not leaking at all, but should be okay, I think.
Find out if it has any leaks right now.
I don't think we got any leaks.
No, let's pull on. Yeah, just makes driving more fun, definitely. You can hear the turbos.
So I just put it in Sport Plus. I don't think it makes a difference in the intake noise, but it'll stop me from having traction control kick in. So I could do a anti-lag pull here shortly. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You actually, so the one thing before with the stock intakes that I noticed is like it's hard to tell with the anti-lag, like if it's spooling up or not, but you could definitely hear it now with the new intakes, so it's a little bit easier to tell like your turbos are spooled up and whatnot. Yeah, I guess that's a little helpful tidbit. And I don't know if rolling down the windows is going to make this worse or better, but
Probably not on the highway.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, you definitely hear it more.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Worth it.
I'm not even a big intake guy, but like these, thank you RamAir for sending me intakes. Very much so appreciated. I don't know if you can see me or not, but yes, thank you for RamAir for sending me the ProRam Intakes. They are worth the money. That being said, you can check them out yourself while you're at West Palm BimmerInvasion. I will be at the F8X versus G8X Hall at the RamAir booth.